Hey, Brian from SnakeBytes here. This week's show is all about inspiring you to follow your dreams. You're watching SnakeBytes. My passion for reptiles started at a very young age. I knew my entire life that I wanted to dedicate it to working with animals. But honestly, when I went to my family and told them I wanted to work with reptiles for a living, they were far from supportive. When I went to my mom and told her I wanted to breed reptiles for a living, she was less than happy.
When Brian told me that he wanted to breed snakes, I said, oh my God, snakes?
And right here is where it all started, right here in this basement. As a matter of fact, this wall right here was the wall where my very first reptile cages were built. I was young, I was so full of energy, and I would do anything to fulfill my dream of working with animals. Who was Brian's biggest inspiration growing up? A, Steve Irwin, B, Marlon Perkins, C, David Attenborough. Go ahead and answer down below in the comments and check back later in the show to see if you have the right answer. In this week's Reptile Report Spotlight, we'll be highlighting bluetongueskinks.net. Go ahead and check out the URL down below or click on the link in the description. My family were far from supportive, but I believed in it and I believed in myself. I put all my energy into working with reptiles. When my friends went out to party, I stayed home and worked. It's what made me happy. By the time I was 20, I met Lori, and she was willing to follow me on that quest.
Well, when I met Brian, I was actually afraid of snakes. I wouldn't even go in the room. But because of his passion and how into everything he was, he kind of sucked me into it and went along with this crazy ride. And I had no idea what this was going to turn into.
I was starting to make money, and when I was 20 years old, I bought this house, my very first house. I lived here for almost 10 years, and that's when the collection really started to expand. I filled this entire basement up with snakes, but it wasn't long before I was out of room. A couple years later, I rented my first building, and this is the exact unit I was at right here. It's pretty exciting, really, but in hindsight, it probably wasn't the best idea to rent a place with multi-tenanted, and it was such a small little building, just with little bit of cages on the wall and a lot of really big snakes. Although my snake business was starting to be somewhat profitable, I still had a daytime job at this very pet shop, which was actually really good for me because it gave me a lot of hands-on experience with animals each and every day. It was a handful of years before I could quit my job and become a full-time snake breeder. Even with all my success, most people in my life didn't believe I should continue to follow my dreams. You might be seeing a pattern here. Believe in yourself. Follow your dreams and do what you want to do. With any success, you have to have some lucky breaks, kind of being in the right place at the right time. And I've certainly had my share of luck over the years, starting with things like the albino Honduran milk snakes. I was the first one to bring them into the country and breed them, and this project really propelled BHB tremendously. Then there was the pinstripe ball python. This was really the biggest thing to ever happen to BHB, in all honesty. When I first brought in the very first pinstripe out of Benin, Africa, I had no idea how it was going to change my entire life. Now you have to remember, even though pinstripes may be $100 or $125 now, they were $25,000. And I had a line of people waiting to buy them. So I'll forever be in debt to these beautiful pinstripe ball pythons. Of course, there's been so many other projects that I could probably do an entire show just on the cool things that I've had hatch, kind of being in the right place at the right time, but certainly none of them can possibly live up to these guys here, the scaleless ball pythons. You guys saw the video last year when I hatched them out. What an amazing experience it was. And still to this day, every time I take them out, I'm just in complete awe of how breathtaking they are. Although I've certainly been lucky so many times, I love the saying that Lucille Ball used to say, the harder I work, the luckier I get. That basically just means that we make our own luck and we work hard and we achieve things. And when times are tough, you just work right through them. This is what people think success looks like, and this is what success really looks like. 6 years ago, I had the idea to start a web show. I didn't know anything about production. I had never been in front of a camera, but I knew I wanted to share my passion with people. Everyone around me thought I was completely nuts and said it wouldn't work. 6 years later, we have over 2 million people a month watching our show, and we're excited about to launch Animal Bites TV, the first independent animal network produced by animal lovers for animal lovers. Listen, you might be surprised to hear that I have no clue what the future holds for me, but I know one thing, it will always be doing something I love. I've never done anything just for the money. It's about being surrounded by the things that you're passionate about. The fruits of our labor are our labor. So whether you work with animals like I do, or do whatever that makes you happy, the whole idea of this show is to inspire you to follow your dreams like I did. Believe in yourself, work hard, and achieve your dreams, and you'll never be more happy with your decisions. I believe in you. Now go out and be more. Guys, I've really been thinking lately about like goals and achieving things and stuff like that. Have you guys ever spent much time like really thinking about what you would do to make yourselves happy?
Not really. Yeah.
Not really, no.
I tell you, seriously, do me a favor. Today I want you guys to spend some time to really think about it. Like, what would you want to do with your life? And I'll come back later and ask you guys. So Josh, what did you come up with, man?
You know, dude, I've been thinking about it all day, trying to figure it out, and I think is what I really want to do is work in an 85-degree room with really high humidity and, you know, clean snake all day, man. And you know, getting yelled at by Lori's nice.
Josh, what are you doing? This isn't break time.
I'm sorry.
Seriously.
I'm sorry.
Come on, get that stuff done.
Living the dream.
Hey, Brayden.
I want to be a unicorn! I think this is going to work out really well for me.
Okay. Man, these people are absolutely crazy. Sam, where did you get that kid?
Well, I always wanted to be a mom.
But where did you get the baby?
Well, I was at the supermarket and she was just kind of sitting there in a cart. I mean, they're kind of everywhere if you look, Brian.
Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
she's so cute. Look at the snakes. You like snakes. Mama. Yeah.
Who was Brian's biggest inspiration growing up? If you said C, David Attenborough, you're 100% correct. Good job. So there it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And remember to always follow your dreams, whether that's breeding reptiles or whatever makes you happy. And as always, my happiness is here at BHB, and I'm always Facebooking and tweeting pictures. So make sure to follow me over at SnakeBytesTV. Till next week, you've been watching Snake Bites.